Hello again, Ocean Formula nerds. One of my watchers yesterday noted that when I create a journal, I auto title my pages using a automation. So the date gets picked up and it auto titles the journal. They also noticed that my day theme also gets picked with a relation, and they were not clear on how I accomplished that. They tried to recreate it, but were not successful. And so I'm going to walk through this little workaround that I discovered from Sam Catania, one of Notion's product leads. And this was brought up because when I was initially testing this new automations feature as part of the ambassador program, I had noted that there is no current way to, when you're using an edit all pages in step, to, for example, in my journal, I can't pass dynamic variables or formulas into these filters yet. So you can use the data in assigning properties on your journal, but you can't manipulate a certain type of page. And the way that this would work is I would have to look up the page name sort of by day name. So give me the day page in the days database that matches Thursday or something like that. But I can't pass that in dynamically. And Sam showed me this workaround that is, it works for some cases, but not all cases. So this is still kind of a missing feature. But basically the workaround is that in our template, let me edit this template real quick. I've got a day theme property, and you'll note that all 7 of my days are selected by default in that. And the day theme itself, edit property here, has to have a no limit on that to be able to do this. I used to have a 1-page limit because I only wanted 1 day theme per day, but the only way to do this workaround is to set it to day no limit and selecting all of the options that you might want to work with. And so you'll note here that this isn't really going to work for like a dynamic system that has thousands of pages or something like that, because you would have to add all those relations. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it would be a bit of a clunky workaround. But it works for a 7-page database like this, where I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let's real quick talk about how this works in general. Like, basically, I have a day theme that is selected, and I get the theme for my day through rollups and formulas through that page. So when I select a different page here, for example, let me pick Friday, for example, you see my theme properties automatically tell me what I should be focusing on for that day. But let's talk about how this actually works in practice. So let's open up our formula here in our automation. So I've got when any property is edited, but basically we want to be able to, when the page is created and so on and so forth, but any property edited will trigger this for me. And I've got this day theme variable that I'm assigning. And then I set the day theme to the value of that formula down below. And let's take a look at this formula and what it does here. So first of all, I'm defining a lets. That's going to allow me to set variables as I go along and reuse that data. So the first variable I'm creating is page, and I'm just assigning that to the trigger page. And I'll show you in a minute why I do this. And then the day name. And so from the page, I'm getting the date, and I'm formatting it with the format DDDD. And what that does is it gives us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as a string. Then I'm getting I'm setting options here, and the options are the page's relation to that day theme. So what that does is that actually gives me that list of Monday through Sunday page relations, right? And then finally, what I'm returning in my lets is I'm saying if the length of the options is 7, then I'm going to use the find method to look up a specific page in that list of pages, and I'm looking for the page where the current equals the day name. So I'm looking for the current, and this current.format just turns the name property. You could also do something like this here. Instead of current.format, I could do current dot, and what am I actually calling? I think the title property might be called, it's just called name. So current.name equals day name would also work here, but I just use current.format. That works as well. If there's 7 options present, then pick the one that matches the day name. Otherwise, just continue to use the option that is currently first in there, or maybe even, you could use all the options, something like that. That might work as well. Let's make that change and see if that works later. We'll hit save. So that's the whole formula for that. And so how that works is why is it not offering me to save? That's interesting. What did I do? Let's make a change, hit save. I can't save. Why not? Weird. Maybe we need to make some other kind of change. Seems like a bug. Maybe because I clicked this. Cancel. Okay, I don't understand why it's not offering to save, but cool. Maybe we'll try it again. Save. Oh, doesn't give me the option to save the automation. Interesting. Perhaps that is also a bug, but we'll carry on regardless with the discarding there. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's weird. Anyway, so when I add a page, it's basically looking for the page by name of Thursday, and then it's assigning that Thursday relation, and so that's how the formula works. Another bug with formulas in the automation editor right now is they really don't copy and paste, and I've talked about this in one of my previous videos here. But if I copy this and I hit save and I exit out of here, let me just open up this journal and we can dump this into here. Let me make a formula block here, paste it in, and we'll note that everything is kind of blank here. Where's the trigger page? Where's the properties here? They're not there. And so I found that if you use the paste without formatting shortcut on Mac, which I have assigned to a hotkey, you'll see what it actually looks like here. Let me open this full screen. We can get a little more space. So yeah, instead of trigger page, it gives us this JSON looking blob thing, and it's actually, .date. And so, if I share this with you, you're going to have to copy this, and here's what you're going to have to do to make this functional for yourself. So maybe I come in here and let's create it from scratch to see if I can get that bug working. Whoa, it deleted all of my formulas. All of my variable settings. Maybe we'll cancel that. Okay, let's try that again. I thought I was just going to delete this guy. Yeah, there we go. That's my mistake. Okay, so let's create this from scratch. Again, this is day name, and I'm going to edit this as a formula, and let's paste that example in there. And of course, it's going to be broken because this is totally not valid formula syntax. So we need to highlight this whole JSON block, and that starts and ends with these curly brackets here, and I need to replace that with trigger page. And then I need to do the same thing with these date props, and I can simply just delete that and retype .date here and .day theme. Unfortunately, this is a limitation of the editor in automation context. This doesn't apply to the to normal formulas, but this one it does. And maybe now I can actually get rid of that. Let's see if we can get rid of that first one and hit save. Great, now it prompts me to save. So that does seem like a bug there. Otherwise, I'm missing something. And then you'll see here, because I deleted that day name formula that this step relied on, it's reset it to clear day theme. I definitely don't want to do that. So let's go back to our custom formula, and I want to pick that. Where are we? Is it the day name? Yes. No. Cannot have a return type of unknown. Okay. Interesting. So I guess we can't use that for some reason. Not sure. I guess it has to be a single variable and not a list of items. So that, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, in both cases, we want to have the, yeah, I would think you can't, I would hope to replace the maybe set day theme. We can only set, we can't say that we want to replace the entire list, so we can only pick one. So unfortunately, if the length has anywhere between 2 and 6 in there, this will pick the first in the list. But for the most cases here, I think I want 1, so that's okay. This basically just prevents you from deleting the property if the day isn't present in that list. So it's kind of a cheap workaround or a cheap hack, but it works. I think it gets the job done. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to see, the day on the 29th is going to be Friday, and it picks that theme. And I think, that what I was trying to avoid was, like, if I picked Tuesday and Friday, I would like both of those to be there. but it's going to remove it and assign the day. So, but if I pick something that doesn't match the day, like Sunday and Tuesday, I'm imagining that this is going to be Sunday after I run it. Yeah. Okay. So it's not totally foolproof, but it doesn't seem like there's any way to, say, replace the entire relation. We can only add to set the day theme to a value that is a single item. Doesn't seem to allow us to assign multiple values like this. If this were, say, a list of items, we can't do that for some reason. Yeah, because this one is a single. What if we turn that into an array? Would that work? Let's try that. We'll try making a list and assign a list, and then this will also be a list. So this way that the formula should theoretically know that it's returning a list in both cases. And then we should be able to, yeah, so now it does seem we're able to select day name because, yeah, it's a list, right? List of blocks. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So the problem is that I was trying to assign a single page in one case, and in another case, assign a list. And the formula here is expecting it to be the same property type in both cases. So making it a list should work. Let's see if that actually does work. That'd be really neat. I'm going to delete these pages and recreate. Haven't done my journaling today. My scripts haven't run quite yet. So let's add a new item here, and we'll see if we get our Thursday. Blammo. And then if I change this for some reason to Friday, I should keep Friday once it runs, theoretically. I'm sure it's run. And theoretically, if I added Sunday and Friday, I should keep those two as well. I think it did. Okay, yeah, that seems like the fix. Great, I learned something today. Yeah, when you're assigning relations from, you can't mix up single page with a list of pages. So it's either got to be one or the other. So again, to recap what I did there, I'm finding the page that I want, but then I'm just tucking it inside of a list. And then if the options already exist, or in this case, if the option length is not exactly 7, then I'm actually just returning the current options, and that seems to work for assignment. So property type is important in terms of the formula that you return here. That's something that I learned today, so that's pretty cool. So again, yeah. Watch the video again. I will post a link to the formula that you can copy, but again, you do have to do that weird thing with replacing the trigger page references that don't copy and paste the way that the traditional formula editors do. So I'll put some instructions in that page as well. Hope that helps.